Hello and welcome to another episode of Becoming Enchanted with Rustic Spirit. I'm your host, Stacy Leigh, and welcome my co-host, Brandon, the
I'm the
Paranormal.
paranormal or the paranormal princess or whatever you want to call them.
I love it. I love it. Brandon's had some activity today with some things falling out of the sky and crap. So,
Oh God, what a day!
because you're in
Fireballs
South
from the
Carolina.
sky. Yeah.
I know. There's
Yeah.
fireballs in.
Well, it was South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, and Georgia. Hell, there were some in Atlanta.
My
Fireballs,
sister
y'all.
saw them. She's in North Carolina. So, like, freaking fireballs.
Fireballs from the sky. And I will put this up there. Oh, the Bible does reference keep an eye to the sky for signs.
Yeah, and you know
I'm
what?
not
It's so
getting
funny.
into religion. But I'm just saying, let's just take the Bible as a historical document.
Okay.
Well, hell, it's been right so far. And
We need to talk later because I watched your live earlier and you mentioned Jeremiah 49. I have a whole story about that. Obviously I'm a witch, but I'm a believer in signs and stuff like that. So it's bigger than we think it is. So it's, again, not going to get into the religious stuff, but more of that, the signs,
and just so everybody knows, the Nostradamus calendar has been recalculated, and then I checked the numbers, so they didn't take into effect the 13-month calendar. So that puts the end of the world starting in 2025, not 2012 or 2013, however he had it. So when you add the numbers back up, it's 2025. So Nostradamus is saying stuff too.
We should do a whole podcast about that next week. You and I get on and talk about it because I have so much too.
Yeah, I'm down. Whatever.
Okay,
but we have an incredible guest for this week, though.
We do.
Everybody's gonna have to wait. You gotta wait till next week for me to run my mouth. We're gonna wait
till next week, or maybe over the weekend sometime when Brandon and I get a bug up our butt and we decide to jump on and talk about stuff like that. But tonight I have one of my favorite authors. She is just very dark, romantic, paranormal, Salem. I'm so excited to have her on. I've been following her page for a while, and just these little micro poems, they're just beautiful. So before I introduce her and bring her on, let's pay some bills. So we are the Becoming Enchanted podcast, our Becoming Enchanted with Rustic Spirit podcast. We are live on Thursdays at 8:30. We are live on Facebook and YouTube right now, but we will upload to Spotify and iHeart, Apple Music and Amazon Music as well. And I upload usually about 2 weeks later. And so please go check those out. Give us a follow over on wherever you get your podcast, and follow us over there because we need some. We need some love over there.
We need you to follow us like a stalker.
Yes, stalk me. Stalk me. It's free. Like you don't. It's free.
Stalk.
So we have.
I'll shoot you. You can stalk her. Sorry. Go ahead.
Stalk me. Stalk me. I have my Hecate right here. So stalk me. So this is a little self promo. I make intention candles. We have 9 right now. Intention candles. I actually think I have 10. So I think I'm one. My pirate is not up here. So all my intention candles are made during the new moon. They are made with the intention that is on the candle. So we have sleep, we have self, which is about self-love and acceptance, protection, money in abundance. And that money in abundance, you like that? You're going to bring some money into your house. Sea magic, sacred warrior, which is very much that warrior goddess type energy. Then you have your earth, very grounding, your moon child and serenity. And then I have pirate that I just recently made, and that one I love because it's about freedom and just living life like grabbing it by the horns. So please go check that out at therusticspirit.com. You can find all of my candles there. I have a new line of candles, the cryptid line. So I have a Bigfoot candle, a alien candle, and a Mothman candle, which is selling like crazy. So please go get those now, or you might not have them. And then we have Ricky. Thank you. Hi, Ricky Farmer. Oh, I love your picture of Batman.
By the way, Ricky Farmer is he is a Army friend of mine, and I believe he just retired, maybe last year or something. I think so. So enjoy that retirement.
Awesome, definitely. James, thank you. I am keeping my chin up. That post I made earlier, actually, it was, I think it was 2 days ago. The post I made, or last night, I think, I forget when I made it, but it is. That was a very healing post for me, and I actually did a live last night talking about it. It was a place of healing, and I needed to kind of get it out my chest and publicly. So I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better, obviously, like so much better. So our next sponsor, or our first sponsor, should I say, because I am my own sponsor, the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con. Annabelle is going to be there September 6th and 7th. And this is the Augusta Civic Center. They're having vendors, celebrities. There's a VIB party and psychic galleries. And Annabelle will be there. So please go check that out at mainparahorror.com. These are your tickets. You have a general admission, you have a weekend general admission and a VIP ticket, but your best ticket is your VIP weekend pass with the dinner party. That's $120. That is going to get you all of the good stuff, all of the VIP, all the early entry, all of the VIP seating.
Worth it.
Yes, you get a VIP dinner and a little party with music and some horror themed cupcakes. It is going to be amazing. Brandon, are you going to that?
You know, what is that? Thomas Patrick Gormley's?
That is Jeff and Ashley.
Jeff and Ashley's. Okay.
Jeff's traveling board.
I will. No, we talked about it. And unfortunately, yes. I had something come up to where I'm going to be out of state. So okay. I'm not going to make it. But, you know, everybody go, make it a success so I can go next year. Mm-hmm. I'll pay that $120 for a VIP ticket. Are you serious? That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
I'm serious. And their prices, and I'm going to tell you, next year, their prices are probably going to be this good. This is their first year event. It is blowing up. They actually have a billboard coming up on Times Square, coming up Saturday, every hour, on the 55 of every hour, all day Saturday in Times Square. So this event is definitely turning a lot bigger than they had planned, but wonderful. They are actually been messaging me all night. They're in Illinois right now at the some type of paranormal convention. So our next sponsor is, I have Creep It Real up here. That is actually over. That was last weekend, but they did an amazing job with the Creep It Real Festival. This is Unique Paranormal 1.5. Another festival that just kind of blew up and was bigger than they thought it was going to be, and they did an amazing job. So please go check out Unique Paranormal 1.5 and the Doss House. And that was them. Skip over that because that's
my favorite one right here.
Snarly Yow. And this is, I should have had you on when he was on last week because I had the guy who made the movie of this on it. So nice. Snarly Yow, historically cryptid West Virginia, snarlyyow.com. Definitely go check it out. He does a lot of different events. His next event is Rats and Reapers. It is a car show, Hearst show at a Thick and Thin brewery in Hagerstown, Maryland. It is going to be a really cool event. So please go check that out. So that is all of our sponsors for tonight. Now we can bring our guest on. But Leigh is asking, Leigh is saying, hello, Brandon and Stacy. Is there going to be karaoke in Maine?
Why not?
I am not sure. That is a Jeff and Ashley question if they end up popping in. But right now she's drinking margaritas in the hotel bar. So,
Leigh, you can always start your own damn karaoke. All you need is a phone and a voice. Phone and a voice.
So yeah, so we'll see if Ashley jumps on. I did tag her, so hopefully she comes on. So we have author Anna Marie Eliezer. She is author of, I think it's 2 books. It's A Girl with Salem in Her Eyes, and she's Magic and Midnight Lace. And without further ado, I'm going to bring her on stage. Welcome, Anne. And I said Anna, Anne, not Anna.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for coming on with us tonight.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Such an honor.
So I feel like it's an honor that you're here, and you kept saying, "Oh, thank you so much," and you're honored. And I feel like, oh my goodness, it's an honor that you're here with me. I guess I fangirl a little bit. So, just because I've been a lover of poetry my entire life, and when I found yours, it was like you spoke to my heart. Like some of these things, like just they literally speak to the heart. I know they're very short micro poems, but for instance, I have one open right now. It's called Broken. It says, "We are all a little broken. We all have a little strange magic. Dance with it. Bring it flowers. bring it tea, and let your darkness have a sip. It's the secret ingredient to some of our best remedies.
Yes.
Like, isn't like that just speaks all about who I am. I just love it. How did you get in? Oh, now you're Brandon. Damn, it's hot, Cooper. Sorry, he just changed his name. How did you get into like? Obviously,
I went from Pony Boy to Damn It's Hot because I'm in South Carolina. It's Damn It's Hot.
It is. It's hot here too. How did you get into writing poetry? Has it been a thing like your entire life?
So I've always had a dream since I was a little girl. Always had a dream of writing it, and it was really social media. I started my page, my Facebook page. She's Magic and Midnight Lace in 2015. And I was sharing all just pages and everybody else's poetry. And 2 years later, 2017, I said, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to do this. And I just started writing. You know, and I never stopped. It just, you know, it was like a tidal wave. Like it had been there for so long, and I finally had the outlet to just let it out. And I was a little nervous because my poetry it's dark, it's magical, it kind of, you know, dances, you know, on the dark side of things. But that's who I am. And so, yeah, that's when it started, 2017.
Nice. I think I'm the luckiest one here because I'm coming in blind. I know absolutely nothing about our guest because I came in last minute. So I get to learn along with the viewers. So this is really cool. And I must say that Midnight Lace part, that's awesome. I like that.
Right? Just the whole title of Magic and Midnight Lace. Where did that come from?
It just came to me one day. It just came to me. It just spoke to me. I said, that's it. That's going to be the name of it. Name of my page. And then when I had so much material and I had a big writing community, a lot of support, friends, family, Facebook. And so when I wrote, she's my first one. I thought it was fitting that would be the title. So.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. So Leigh, authentic, that's why it's good. And yes, it's authentic. You know, so obviously with it being a little dark and a little magical and enchanted, so to speak. That's why I wanted you here, because we're becoming enchanted. So you kind of fit right along with my vibe. So have you always been, I guess, a seeker of dark and paranormal and enchanting things?
Always. I grew up in Mystic, Connecticut, and I had paranormal experiences as a child. And, you know, back then, you know, it was, oh, you're just dreaming. Oh, it's not real, you know, but it was real. Recurring dreams out in the woods of Mystic. Yeah,
I have chills all over because I don't know if you know, I'm a psychic medium and I pick up on some things. And I used to live not far from Mystic. I lived Colburn. That's not right. I lived there for a hot minute. It was by a lake in Connecticut. I know that really narrows it down, right? By a lake in Connecticut, but.
Connecticut, New England, it's a paranormal hotspot. It really is.
That's about an hour. Yeah.
Well, because that's where the Burnt Out District is, right? Up in that area.
The what?
There used to be a district up that way called the Burnt Out District. And it was where all of the psychics and media, like everybody, went to live. And they called it the Burnt Out District. And that started the revolution of spiritualism in the New York area in that way.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of that. That's interesting. I'm going to have to look into that.
Even H.P. Lovecraft mentions it in one of his books.
Wow.
So, pretty interesting.
And I love H.P. Lovecraft. Like that. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I do know like that area, like Mystic, Connecticut, and there's a triangle up there. There's some type of, what is it called? It's a triangle for a hotspot for paranormal activity. Why can't I remember it? Anybody in the comments, if you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle, but it's like the New England Triangle for a hotspot for paranormal activity. There's been multiple shows on it.
I think it's called the New England Triangle.
No, it has a name.
The New England Triangle.
It really has a name.
New England Triangle. New England Triangle.
We're going to call it the New England Triangle. So I know Mystic, and now I didn't know that's where you're from, and this all makes sense because it is very, that town is very like going into Mystic and seeing things there, and it's just, yeah, it's I've had a couple paranormal experiences myself there. Do you mind sharing the paranormal experiences you had growing up?
Sure. So, well, the first thing is
you will not be judged here with our crowd. I was going to tell you that. Okay.
No. I love talking about it because honestly, it's not something, I can talk about every day with, so yes, it's great to be able to let it out. The first thing is I had a recurring dream. So I was surrounded by woods, and so I had two windows that faced out to the front, to the driveway, two windows to the side into the woods. And I just always had this recurring dream of being led down into my backyard, into the woods. And there was a small house and a light. And I had this dream a lot, like somebody was guiding me down there. But two experiences I had, I actually saw spirits of two little boys, two separate times in my bedroom. One night I woke up, I shared a room with my sister. We had tiny little twin beds, and I looked over and there was a boy laying down. I'll never forget it. I mean, this was back in the 70s. I'll never forget this. And he was just propped up on his head was in his hand, looking up at me, smiling. I looked over the bed, there he was. And then the next, the other encounter was I woke up one night. We had cats. The cat was laying at the foot of the bed. I woke up. There was a little boy smiling down at the cat, like as clear as day. He was there. I know he was there. And, there were some things that happened. I don't want to go into that, just, out of respect for the families. There were some things that happened in the neighborhood. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Yeah. And there was a reason I grew up in that house and on that road, because I came full circle with it. And I also don't want to get into that because,
it's fine.
It's my ex-husband, my children, where I work now. So it just,
we don't need to do that.
You grow up and you look back and you're like, wow, when you start, everything just falls into place and everything has a reason. But so those
so you saw it basically it wasn't the same little boy. It was two different little
separate
boys.
Little boys. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Ricky just said it's the Bridgewater Triangle. He looked it up.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. And Brandon, you just shared something on
I mean, it'll just show you what the burnt over I said burnt out district. It's burnt over district.
Oh, burnt over district.
Yeah. And so here
I can't read that crap.
Well, you can. It's got its own Wikipedia. So
I'm gonna have to look into that.
I mainly did it for the map right here.
Okay.
This is what is considered the burnt over districts.
Okay. Mystic is like down here. So it's like over here. Like
so this is where it all the spiritualism started.
Oh, okay.
Back in 1792 to 1875 or something. Anyway.
Oh, the Second Great Awakening. Okay. Yes. I want to look more into that, but yes, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Now I understand. Yeah, so no problem. You're welcome. Yes, thank you. So as you were talking about like that reoccurring dream, you walk into the woods, and then I'm obviously looking at the book. It says, the girl with Salem in her eyes. Have you, I mean, how much are you into the spiritual world and psychic medium and past life stuff or anything like that? Do you believe in any of that?
I do.
Do
I
you
absolutely
believe that
do.
that might have been a past life dream?
I do.
I feel like maybe you were part of some of the things that occurred here or there in Salem. And that's why you're drawn to more of this darker. I hate to use the word darker because it is dark, but what's a better word for that, Brandon, than saying dark? Mystical. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. Like mystical.
Unknown.
Yeah. Paranormal. Wait, there we go.
I mean, I was just gonna let you open that door. I was gonna keep prodding you that way.
Sorry. Like I said, I was telling them earlier before we went live. I have a chronic illness. I have fibromyalgia, and I have some other kind of nerve pain, and I have a little thing in my brain. And today's not a good day because of the weather over the past. We've had some humidity and heat, and I literally everything inside of me hurts. It's not outside pain; it's inside pain. It's nerve pain. So my brain is not where it needs to be right now. You know, there's no medicine that is helping. So, yeah. So definitely forgive me for not being on my game tonight. But so do you currently I think I saw a post recently that you went to some paranormal investigation, or went to where did you go? You went somewhere to a house or something.
No, I went up into Rhode Island. It was an old carriage house, now turned restaurant. So it was dinner and a paranormal investigation. So I try to go to those as much as I can. Very, very intrigued by that, by the whole. I think it's fascinating. And I do believe in past lives. I believe I've lived past lives. I don't think this is my last life. Yeah, even in dreams, sometimes, I wonder, there's one person in particular, and I know them, but I've dreamt about them all the time, and I wonder why, what's the reason for that?
Have you talked to them?
No. But I wonder that maybe they represent somebody that I knew in another life.
Yeah.
I lost my aunt in June. It was the first real loss for me. I mean, I lost my grandfather when I was little, but I was very, very close to her. And she was a huge fan of my work. And the last time I had seen her, I don't know, we just started talking. I don't even know what brought it up. And my mother was there, my aunt. And I turned to my mother and I said, you know what? I think I was your mother in a past life. And I said to my aunt, I think you were my mother in a past life, just because of the dynamics that we all had.
Right.
And
how did they take?
They took it. Yeah.
Because they believe in the world too.
I was totally on board with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, have you done any past life regressions therapies or anything?
I have not, but that is definitely on the list to do. So yes.
You should come to the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con. There are going to be some people there that do that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that's that far. Like if you're in Mystic.
No, it's not far.
It's not far. It's outside Augusta, Maine. So, yeah, maybe next year we can actually get you in as a vendor, and you can sell some of your books and stuff like that. And, yeah, Jeff and Ashley's probably 5 margaritas deep, so they're not on right now. She literally sent me a picture of a flight of margaritas that they did at this hotel.
At least you're at a hotel. I mean, hey.
Yeah, we are very laid back. Yeah, they drove 2 days to get here. They deserve a flight of margaritas.
They do. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can't really see it.
No.
Yeah, but it
looks like a strawberry margarita, though.
It's 4 different margaritas. Like, you know how you have a flight of beer when you go to like breweries? It's like 4 different margaritas.
Okay.
Yeah, she's having fun. But yeah, so that would be cool to have you there, like at one of the
That would be
events. And like,
amazing.
I think you're from that area. Like Ashley, we're actually going to be up there soon as well, just kind of visiting. And I love New England. Have you always lived there, born and raised in New England?
Born and raised.
Oh,
I love
wow.
it. Yeah. Yeah, my
And
family,
Brandon's
both
from the
sides of my
South.
family in Massachusetts. I grew up in Connecticut. I have family in Rhode Island. Yeah,
I
New
haven't
England
spent
girl at heart.
I haven't spent much time in New England. I'm hoping to within the next couple of years, but spent time in Buffalo. That's about it. But so I like it up there. I'd like to actually investigate. I don't know, never investigated in New England area. So that's on my to-do list.
Oh yeah, we have so many just amazing historical old places. Just so much
It
history.
is.
Yeah.
So much. And that's the thing, is the history about it. Like, I don't know about you, when I walk into, like you said, you went to a carriage house in Rhode Island.
Yes.
But when you walk into places like that, can
yeah.
you almost feel the energy of like the
Yeah.
old and who was there, and imagine who sat here and walked through
Yes.
this way, and it's so
You
beautiful.
immediately feel the energy shift. Like a few years ago, right before COVID, me and a girlfriend visited the Mark Twain house in Hartford, Connecticut. That's a place to the whole house
cool.
exactly as is. Like his study is where he wrote is exactly as is. You can almost still smell his tobacco, his pipe in the air. Like everything was just left and things are roped off, the children's rooms, all the furniture. It's like walking back in time. It's just amazing.
Did you just pick up that pipe, or did you have it in your hand already?
No, I did. It just magically appeared. She mentioned pipe.
It did. I was like, where did it go? I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, good luck finding where it just appears out of nowhere now.
Where did yeah, this is my gnome. He's a gnome, and things just happen. Yeah, it's magical. It's just magical of feeling the energies. So to me, I'm like, I think you're like, you are an empath. Do you ever feel like you're connected psychically to things? Have you ever had conversations with spirits and
good question,
any of those type of experiences?
I haven't, but.
Or did spirits help you write your book?
I think they did. I gained, yes. Like when I started writing and those floodgates opened and it was just there. The words would just come out. And I often think if I had some help with that, I absolutely believe that I did. Yeah.
That's what I was sensing. Hey, baby, there's my wife.
There's your wife. The gnome appears out of nowhere. Anna, I'm so sorry for you. I feel, not Anne, but Anna, his wife. I feel so sorry for you sometimes because I'm sure he just shows up. That's how he came into my life. He just
scare her constantly. Yeah, I just.
But yeah, you can tell, like when you're reading this stuff, it's almost like coming from the spirit world. Like I can feel that energy off the stuff that you write. And here's another one. Do you mind if I read another one?
Oh no, not at all. Thank you.
$5.
$5. Give me a moody mess of a man with singing scars and the echo my pulse beating in his neck. Give me dirty and delicious. Oh, we're gonna get a little. Give me dirty and delicious. Give me real and raw. Give me loyal liquid lava that fuels my love and madness. Give me soul sobbing scars. Give me darkness, inky depth. Give me him. That is. It's a little spicy.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. I mean, it's like I can see where it just kind of flow.
I mean, it is one of the 7 deadly sins.
I had a reading once, and she told me that in a past life, I was somebody of wealth, but that it was a time in that period of time, women certainly couldn't write what I wrote,
right.
in my books, and that but yet she felt that I had a lot to say back then, but I couldn't, just because of the time that I was in, and that, so I let it all out in this in this lifetime. It all came out.
Yeah.
And it looks like you got a little spark in your eye, like you got something up your sleeve. You working on something else?
I am. I'm working on book 3, and hopefully some short stories. I did write one short story for an anthology. It was a paranormal story. And that's funny because that was set in Maine. I did that story about a little cottage in Maine. And so eventually, yes, I would like to do some short stories, some paranormal, romantic ones. So yeah, but I am working on book 3 actively, halfway through it.
Oh, good.
Good morning, Damien. Damien's in Scotland. And it's so funny he just pops in right now, because I was going to ask you, do you have roots over in the UK or somewhere over there? Because I
have
saw
roots in
you almost
Ireland.
like okay, I saw you in very medieval time and almost like this Renaissance era. You know, you were part of that, and it was almost like you were somebody's muse, and they were using you and your ideas and putting them on in their work when it was actually you, and that's why you couldn't speak your voice, because women couldn't. So he said he's just chilling, hoping everybody's having a chill day. Damien actually has, he's been on my podcast twice. He has right here on his arm, I don't know how you feel about Ouija boards, but right on his arms, he has, like, when he goes like this, or is it like that? I think it's like this. He has the Ouija board all on his arms.
Oh, that's
so
amazing.
He does a lot of paranormal investigating, and he takes his arms with him. He's got his own equipment.
That's amazing.
I only have one question, Damien. Are you one of those Scotsmen that you can't understand a damn thing you say? Or are you the ones that you can kind of understand, but the word fuck comes out of your mouth every 2 seconds? Which one are you, sir?
He's a little bit of both.
My favorite kind of Scotsman.
He's a little bit of both. I'm going to tell you, like, you just have to go back and watch him on my podcast. It's been a busy week for me. He's been on like a couple different podcasts. In my comments, last night I did a live, and then I was at a haunted mansion last night doing a live podcast. And this is here in Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania, and it's called the Samuel Miller Mansion, and it's very like romantic and Victorian, and you would probably love that location.
I would love that. I actually live in a haunted mansion.
I was just here to ask you, because I saw something behind you. It was like a maid, walking back and forth, but like an older maid.
Witch's hat light.
Oh, that is so cool.
So
I was going to ask you if your place was haunted.
It is. It was built in 1858, and it's 10 condo units that they built in 1989. However, a lot like all this whole wall right here is all brick, original brick, and a lot of the original charm was left. And so when I moved in, the owner of the mansion who built it, his picture sits up on the shelf. He was there when I moved in, and that's where he will stay. I'm not moving him.
Fair enough, right?
Yeah. And so, I've had a few experiences in here.
So. Well, and I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. If my wife is still watching, do not look at that light fixture, baby. We're not getting it. She loves stuff like that. But that's cool. Okay, well, let me ask you this. What do you think about them turning a mansion into condos? How do you feel about that?
Well, it does hurt. It hurts to see, so right now I'm still in Connecticut. I'm not in Mystic. So I'm in an area where there's a lot of old historical mansions, and you see them not being taken care of or renovated. I mean,
Right.
it definitely hurts to see that happen. It's understandable, you know.
I mean, yeah.
One family living in all of this, it's kind of, you know, you don't see that as much anymore.
Right.
I'm just grateful that I get to experience a little piece of it, and that anybody left behind, you know, respectfully, they know I'm here respectfully, and that I, you know, try to honor them and remember them. So
I would be really interested to see what kind of paranormal activity was going on when they were converting it from the mansion to the condos.
oh, I'm sure a lot.
But I bet it you know, the activity got raised up. But interesting.
Because it was originally the family, the wealthy family who lived here. Actually, the floor I'm on was the living floor. Downstairs were the ballrooms where they had the parties.
Yep.
And then upstairs, the smaller condos were the staff quarters. But after that, sometime in the 50s, I haven't been able to find too much information on it. In the 50s, this was a women's hospital. And it's funny because there's a foyer and a front staircase and then a back staircase. And that back staircase, whew, that has something going on. You can feel that hospital feel going on back there. So, yeah.
I mean, it could be where the doctors and nurses got away to cry or whatever would happen.
Yeah.
You know, I could kind of see that, but that's pretty cool. And those of you in the chats, I do not have permission to pull up your stuff. Okay, there we go. So
I'm here. Just give me a minute. I had a cough and
no, take your time.
Water, so I'm like wiping my eyes off right now.
No, take it. You're good. So Woo Rider says, "Have you heard of Stephen? I can't say that last name.
Ekrantalo. That dude did some odd stuff with the paranormal back in the day. He definitely. I've not heard of him.
I have not, and it's rare that I haven't heard of somebody. So thank you for that. I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole tonight, Woo.
Oh yeah,
definitely. And then we have, do you have an older woman in a mirror? Damon says. I guess he's asking you in the.
Yes. I mean, I very well could be. There's definitely female spirits about here.
Good catch, Damon.
I feel like you have a lot of ancestors with you. A lot of women ancestors. Like, obviously, you wrote the book, The Girl with the Salem in Her Eyes. Like, I don't want to assume that you are into the craft. But, you know, it seems like you were attracted to that life of more of that women empowerment and, you know, what happened to women during the witch trials and stuff like that. So, but I feel like you have a long line of powerful women that follow you around. And you're meant to, then they're speaking through you a lot
I
of times.
hope they are. I hope they are. I do speak to them. I talk to them. You know, I have my goddesses everywhere. And
she's a witch. Burn her. Sorry. I watched the Holy Grail the other day. So that's a Monty Python quote.
I'm a witch too.
Burn her.
I know.
Yeah. And I think Carrie just said she saw a woman behind you before, and I'm picking up on, like, I keep seeing a shadow going behind you, sort of like it's sort of walking. I don't know what.
I think it's a maid, like an old maid. Not an old maid like the card game, but a maid.
So right down here is my hallway, and I think this is definitely a conduit, a portal. This is where they travel. I feel it. Yes.
Well, that's the direction it was traveling. So if that's the hall, that makes sense. That makes sense.
They came out to visit.
Well, usually whenever Stacy and I get together, something paranormal happens on the show.
Something, yes, always. It always. Well, you didn't. I didn't have my mic on or my camera, and something just fell, and I don't know what it was. And I was sitting here and I'm trying to look for it, and I'm like, I just heard this loud bang. So yeah, we get it here. I have a haunted. My house isn't as old as yours, but my house is haunted as well. So
You know what? I don't really think it matters all that much on the house, unless it's a brick or stone house. Then you can get into the stone tape theory. But I think the land has a lot to do with it, and especially here on the East Coast. I mean, this is the oldest part of America.
Yes.
Everything started on this coast. So we are kind of blessed and cursed at the same time to have so much activity here. Oh, but and I'm sure
there's John.
And I was going to say, because you're technically the Appalachian Mountains, just like we are. So you've got the Appalachian folklore that comes up your way, and it, believe it or not, it actually finishes in Scotland. So the Appalachian Mountains do. So.
Yeah, like if you look at when the continents were together and how it was, it finishes up there.
But yeah, I bring that up because I'd be very interested to come up that way. It's a different kind of old than down here.
It is a very different kind of old. Like the house I grew up in Mystic, I think it was not the house; it's the land that the house is on. And to this day, my mother is still in that house, and things happen in the house. She hears things.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring up John. John is a very talented psychic medium, and we were talking about the person that's walking behind you. John, we've been seeing the person that's walking behind her. She lives in a very old mansion that got turned into condos. And I picked up on it. I'm not going to say because I don't think you were on at that point what I picked up on, but a lot of people are seeing things. So John, if you can look out and see if you see anything, that would be awesome. And if you want to join the live, I'll send you the link too. He is super talented.
And I believe my wife knows him. So hello.
Yes, one of the most talented. Yes, he is, and he's like in his 20s. He's like my son. He's like in his 20s, super talented. Watch, I'm going to send him the link right now to see if he'll jump on. So Anne, have you ever, like I said, I know you do like the haunted toys and go on these like investigations and stuff like that, but have you ever gotten serious into paranormal investigation? Like we've been doing it for years, and it took an experience like what you've had, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my own equipment and I'm just going to go out and do this. Have you ever thought about doing that?
I've very much thought of it. I haven't done it, but I've very much thought of it.
You should get you a little ghost hunter starter kit. It's relatively cheap. You may pay $200 for like a couple of items, but that's all you need to see if you enjoy the technology side of it or if you enjoy the psychic side of it. Because my favorite tool is me. So. But I would get you a little K2. You can get them on Temu even, and just a couple devices and see if you like it. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but you could do it in the comfort of your own home.
I have a K2 somewhere.
Like this is where I thought if I started, it would be here. This is like the perfect place to start it.
Yep. And I can give you some links and stuff for little cheap items that you can use. And,
John says, woman older, she's very interested, almost like an observer, but will move stuff around. Do you get stuff moved around in your house?
Yes. I do.
Well, I feel like I know we need to bring you in. I'm like, I feel like we need to bring her into our world, and we need to like, if you're ever in, like, I'm going to be up in the area in September and maybe in August. If you ever want like us to come up and just like kind of bring our equipment and like do some stuff in your house, like I'd be more than willing.
Oh, I would love that.
And if you're ever in South Carolina, I represent a haunted location, so we can go. And it's an ancient site. It goes back probably 20,000 years, and we have petroglyphs that date back about at least 12,000 years.
Oh, yes, you do, don't you?
So if you ever get down this way, please let me know. I won't charge you a dime. We'll go have fun.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes, and I live right outside of Gettysburg. Do you know Gettysburg?
I do. That's on my bucket list. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get down there so badly.
There all the time. You would love it. You need to go to the Farnsworth House. Okay. I will send you a list of all the places you need to go in Gettysburg. Or if you come down, let me know. I will meet you.
Oh, love that.
and I'll show you around. We'll
No,
get the
I'll
Farnsworth
drive up for
House
that. It's only
and
like
the
8-9
orphanage.
hours. I'd drive
Yeah,
up.
for you.
Gettysburg, yeah, it's about 5 hours from me. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're only about 4 hours from me, depending on traffic. Depending on the Tappan Zee.
Connecticut traffic is the worst.
So I do want to ask you, because are you still in Eastern Connecticut?
I'm in southeastern Connecticut.
Okay.
Southeastern.
So Eastern Connecticut
from like 10
versus
minutes from
Western
the old
Connecticut.
Norwich State Hospital. I don't know if you've heard that in the paranormal world, the Norwich State Hospital. It's literally right.
Land.
Okay.
Land.
5 minutes up that way.
Land. Oh my God. Yeah. And you're in a women's hospital and that back. So does the back stairway face that location?
It doesn't. It faces the back courtyard. Okay. Well, it's the backyard, but it's got that courtyard feel.
That's cool.
So we have John.
Hello.
Hi, John.
Hello. Pleasure to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you as well. I literally just got done doing our show, and I just literally was like, "Oh, okay, I'll say hi to Stacy." And you're like, "Hey, I need you to pick this up. What do you get?"
Well, I literally I jumped. Their show started at 8, and so I jumped on their show for a little bit, and I was watching it, and then I was like, "John, what are you doing? Something's wrong with you. You have a completely different energy right now." And he's like, "I'm reading our guest, so I need to go back and watch and see. Did you end up calling him out?"
No. I was so. A lot of times, of course, those who are sensitive, even if you
I'm sorry,
with
I
energy.
I figured you did, and now I just put it out there.
No, you're good. I think there was just a lot of different energy going on, and so that's what I was reading. And it's funny. So I just saw Brandon's, his title, his name title. Damn, it's hot. I feel that because my office is very warm right now.
Yeah. So I have a fan.
There you go. Listen, you need to send me that link to get one of those fans. If anybody does those events, seriously, those fans are amazing.
I do. I know. I love it. So, and I brought him on because I was like, I've been seeing the lady behind you walking back and forth. Brandon picked up on it. I think someone in the comments did too. 2 people in the comments did too. So you're saying John, you're feeling an older woman, very interesting, but like an observer. She moves stuff around.
So the only thing that I'm really seeing is there is this older woman who she feels, and again, this was not planned. This was not I literally, like I said, we just got done with the show, and I can't be on for very long.
No, you're fine.
So when I look past, I keep seeing someone over near the lamp. And it's almost like this older woman, she's pacing, what's going on? Who are you talking to? Asking all these different questions, I want to say a mom or a grandma, honey, you need to get to bed. You need to do this, trying to make sure, everybody's taken care of. And she's pacing. So I don't know really what it is, but she's definitely an observer. I feel like if it's not during a time like this, and it wouldn't surprise me if she's going through and rearranging things and making this look nice and this look presentable. And oh my gosh, we have to make sure it's perfect in the right spot and all sorts of interesting things.
Okay.
Do you feel or hear pacing or footsteps or different noises when you're around in the place at all?
I feel a woman, the presence of a woman, and she travels. Yes, she especially this hallway, but yes, that she travels up and down.
Okay. You live in an apartment building, right? That's what I'm seeing.
It's an old mansion, and it's built. We're condo units.
Okay.
So we all have our own.
At one point, the reason why I ask is because they're showing me that there were multiple uses for this building before it was turned into this. It was definitely a residential home, but I want to say it was almost like it was a don't want to say like a nursing home, but
Yes, it was a
something similar to that.
He did not.
yes.
He was just got on the show. He did not hear us talking about that.
Yes. It
Because
was a women's hospital.
There's also a male energy that's out. Like he doesn't go into like there's this doorway that's blocking him, and he's like I don't want to say like in a hallway, or like a communal area. I don't
Yes.
know where this is at, but it's this male. I am terrible with ages, but I'd say anywhere from like 55 to 70, a little older. But he's like, I don't even know, like a visitor. That's the one thing I keep seeing, I keep hearing is like a visitor. Um, yeah, I don't know much about him other than that. He does okay, so he's okay. Are you putting them on or taking them off?
She's so into what
Okay.
you're saying right now. I love it.
So there, what I was at. So when they do certain signs, symbols, or omens, that's what I pay attention to. That's kind of how I read. He's taking a pair of glasses and he's adjusting them on his face to keeping them on. So I don't know if you have seen him before, but he definitely wants to know that he is there. But it don't like he's like, I don't want her to be alarmed. I don't want her to be confused. I don't want her to be afraid. I'm just here to protect. I'm just like, I don't know if he was like what type of whatever his job was, whatever his tie was to this building or what have you. But
right.
Yeah, he's very much he's like her, an observer, but trying to make sure things are going.
Well, I love knowing that. When I moved in, I've been here 3 years, and as soon as not when I walked into the building, it's when I walked into my home, I was like, this is it. Like, I just immediately felt this is where I need to be. Which is and I wasn't expecting that because I had been in my home for, 21 years, divorced. And so I thought, I'm never going to feel that at home feeling. But as soon as I came here, I felt that. And knowing that there are spirits here, I want them to know that I'm here to take care of the home and I respect them. And I don't want them to be afraid of me. I'm not afraid of them.
John, I don't know if you know who she is. She is the author. She writes poetry. She's Magic and Midnight Lace. I know this is like backwards. And then A Girl with Salem in Her Eyes. They're very short little poems. They're beautiful. And I've been following her for years. And
that's cool.
Pretty much, I love her. It's very dark and romantic and magical. Her little poems. So I just wanted to give you a little update on who she is. So.
Oh, that's
cool.
Thank
you for coming on and picking up on that. That's amazing. That just reinforces things that we felt here. So that's great.
And Anna's saying doctor. She's feeling like maybe that man's a doctor.
It's possible.
Well, it was a woman's hospital. This was in the 50s. This was a woman's hospital.
Yeah.
And if I may ask, is your mother's mother, so your grandmother, on the other side?
Yes.
And do you have like a necklace or any like piece of jewelry that she's like, no, she doesn't have it on her, but she has either on like it's on her nightstand or on like she's probably draped on like a bedpost is what she's showing me.
I have it draped on my lampshade.
Okay, so she's just wanting to let you know that she appreciates you doing that. She's like, honey, it's okay to wear it. It's not going to break. You're fine. And that she just wants to thank you because she does hear you talking to her. I feel like you talk to her sometimes in the car. And I feel like she also helps you write some of the different things based on how her personality is. I feel like she was a very free-spirited type of person in life to where she liked to allow her creativity to flow.
Yes.
And she definitely did that through, like, I don't know if she was big into like plants or flowers or different things like that, but just being very eclectic and working with all sorts of different things and showing her love through that, through cooking, through this and that and the other. And it's just, she's very appreciative because she's walking alongside you, especially living in
wow.
this house, to make sure that you are, perfectly good. You make every decision. I don't know where this is coming from. Every decision that you have made within the last 2 years that you have been questioning, she said, I have been here to walk alongside you and that you've made the correct ones.
Wow.
So
Woo.
I hope that helps.
Yes,
That's
thank you.
I know, John.
But
Thank you for coming on. Like, I felt
you're
like I
welcome.
felt so called.
Wow, thank you so much.
I knew when I watched your podcast, I knew you were going to come on mine, and I don't know how
That's
I knew
funny.
that. I almost messaged when we were messaging back and forth. I almost messaged like, "See you in a bit," and then I
That's
erased
funny.
it. And I'm like, because I had this feeling you were going to come on, and I hope you don't mind that I just felt
No,
very cold. And when I saw
this
him in
is
the comments, I
amazing.
felt very cold that it was a message that was supposed to come through. So
I'm
Thank
gonna
you
have to
so
go back and rewatch what I missed. Unfortunately, I had to go walk the dog, but I must have missed a bunch.
John was like spot on things, like he always
Yes.
is, like he always is. So John,
Well,
you're
thank you
welcome to
guys.
stay, or you can go. I know you've been on the other show for a while, so you're probably ready for a
Yes.
break. So
Will
I have to run.
John, will you be in
But-
Gettysburg?
Yes, I'll be at the bash.
I'll meet you there. I'll be there.
Awesome. Sounds good. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you
Great
very
to
much.
meet you,
And good to meet you too. Have a good night, everybody.
too.
Take care, brother.
all right, thanks, John. Love you. So that is John. He is my other sometimes co-host. So it was nice to have you guys both on tonight.
Thank you so much.
He's
This was
super
amazing.
talented. So I
Wow.
hope that helped you. I don't know
does.
why. Like, I wanted to showcase you and all of that stuff, but I just felt like when I saw John in there that there was
No,
something
that
good
was
and
amazing.
here.
What an amazing bonus. I wasn't expecting that tonight. Well,
So Jamie was saying
that was pretty cool.
it was really cool. He said a farrier worked on horses and stables. Are there outbuildings? Are there any outbuildings around where you're at?
there aren't. I don't know if there used to be on the property. There probably were, I would assume.
Mhm.
I actually have a picture that I pulled up from the Historical Society that shows the horse and buggy out in front of this when it was a house back in the 1800s.
Is there
wow.
anything out on the curb that looks like a little concrete block?
There could be. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Okay, so do you know what that was?
I don't know.
That's the step down for the carriage.
Yeah,
Oh,
they put an extra
really?
one there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you see something like a little concrete step,
Mhm.
Mhm.
then that house actually still has the carriage step, which is very rare.
Oh, wow.
That's very cool. So when you said you're writing a third book, do you know
I'm
when
writing
that's
a
going to
third
come
book.
out, or you don't
don't
have any
yet.
plans yet? Okay.
I'm about halfway through, and I've been asking, what's the title of this book going to be? It hasn't come to me yet, but I know it will. And when it does,
Mhm.
I think then it'll really all fall into place once I have the title, because then that will lead everything else. But a lot of new poetry, some older poetry that I didn't put in my previous 2 books.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
And where can people get your books? And you're not allowed to name Amazon or any other third party because they don't pay worth of crap to you guys. So where can they get it directly from you, where the money goes to you?
So I have a LinkedIn. It's I have an Instagram account, She's Magic in Midnight Lace. I have my Facebook page, She's Magic in Midnight Lace, and I have my LinkedIn account. You can click on there. If you can message me if anybody wants a signed copy. You can message me. I can give you the information. And really, everywhere that books are sold, you can find them.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give a personal she's not here. I was hoping Sabrina would be in. But Sabrina,
Oh,
she has the
Sabrina.
shop. Yes,
Yes.
that's where I bought them from her shop. So she got them
Oh,
directly from you in bulk and bought them in the shop.
yes.
And that's something I would like to, I have a metaphysical shop, but mine's a traveling metaphysical shop. So I wanted to talk to you about that, not on air, but about buying books in bulk so I can give people your works as well. So yeah, I think, if anybody's in the Pennsylvania area, I know that in Sabrina's shop, it's called, oh, why am I forgetting where it's called? I'm really, this is like, now I'm embarrassed because I've been there. I've done readings there. I've done all kinds of things there.
Sabrina's House of Pain.
No.
Okay.
It's like Moon something.
I didn't know.
Okay, I am horribly embarrassed. I don't know the name of her shop. It is outside of Phoenixville. Yeah. Her name is Sabrina Marie.
I think her shop is called Shut Up and Take Your Medicine.
Yeah, it's one of those days for me. Come on, my brain is not working correctly.
Moon Mist Crystals.
Moon Mist. I knew there was a moon in there. Thank you.
Yes.
Moon Mist Crystals. Yes. She is outside of Phoenixville, more close towards the Philly area. So you can always go and get Anne Marie's books there.
Oh, thank you so much. I would love to make it down there and to see both of you.
I know.
Because we talked that if I'm ever in the area, I'd go see her and go visit her shop. And
I told her, if you ever come, she needs to have me there too. And
yes.
So let me know, because I need to get my books signed.
Yes, I will sign them.
We're going to come knock on the door and do investigating, and I'll be like, hey, can you sign these books for me? So I'm just looking at any more comments. No, we don't have any more comments, but so obviously people could find you on Amazon, stuff like that, if that's the last resort, but you don't get as much. But if you want a signed copy, look at your Instagram, Facebook.
It's She's Magic and Midnight Lace. That's the name. Or, if you put my name in, it'll come up. All the information.
And if you guys look in the show notes, if you're watching or listening on the podcast, in the show notes, her socials will be in there, but in the event on Facebook, her socials are in there. So you guys should be able to see that there as well. So, yeah, my brain is done for the night.
Okay.
All of the craziness.
You made it. You made it an hour.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor being on here. What an amazing night.
Oh,
it's great.
You know what? There was, before John came on, there
pleasure.
was one question that I did have to ask for you, because I lived in that area and I worked in Hartford, but I lived more in the Eastern Connecticut. I worked at the Hartford Mall at the Gap.
Really? Oh my goodness. What a small world.
Baby Gap. I worked at the Baby Gap in Hartford
Yeah,
Mall.
you would fit in those clothes. That makes sense.
Right? So there is a very very big difference between Western, like the small little Western Connecticut, and Eastern Connecticut. Yes. Do you feel that? Like me as an outsider that lived there for a while, I felt it, but I don't know if people who live there actually feel it as well.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
It's almost like mini New York over here on that east side of Hartford. Like
it is. Yeah, the further up you get, Connecticut and New York start to, meld together.
That's where Yankees live. I don't know.
So thank you for coming on. Any final words for our audience? Do you have any I always ask our guests to give a little piece of advice, a little final words, whatever, like just some words of inspiration.
My advice has always been, whatever your passions are, I don't care what they are, what you feel you are meant to do them. Don't worry about what people think or what they say, or, do it. do it, because, you know, if I hadn't followed all of that, my passions, I wouldn't have wrote my books. I've met amazing people. I've had so many people reach out to me, you know, in tears, like, oh, you helped me. I was going through such an awful time, a dark time, and your words helped me. I mean, oh, that just means the world, that I'm able to, you know, touch people and, you know, with my words, because that's what it's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's not for me, it's for everybody. It's to connect with those who need to hear my words. So if you, whatever it is, you know, whatever passions you have, do them, make those dreams come true. That's what I always say.
I love that. I love
That's
that.
much nicer than the way I say it. Much nicer.
Yeah, it is. My shaman.
So, thank you.
I just say it like it is.
Oh, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful
Thank
evening. And we will be in touch when we're in the area. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But we'll be in touch when we're in the area.
Okay.
Have a great evening.
Hey, and y'all watching, if they don't like you, fuck them. Have a good one.
That's how he says it.
Good night.
Brandon, thank you for coming on and supporting me tonight. I needed that backup tonight. And thank you all who've been in the comments. Thank you for watching. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, for the people sharing, for the people watching, for the people commenting. Like, we are here because of you guys. So thank you all very much. And I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. And remember, fill your cup first, because you cannot pour from that empty cup.